Hello and welcome to a midweek Wardy's Waffle Farm update. First of all, an apology that I didn't get this video out last night, Wednesday night. I tried to load it up on YouTube and it was taking ages and ages to load, and it had gone up finally about midnight, the speed it was going. And so I thought, rather than do that, I'll delete the upload and put it out tonight in a decent time. I wanted to put it out yesterday because, of course, it was a very special day because it was Back British Farming Day. And first of all, I'd just like to thank, on behalf of the farmers, I'd like to thank all of you who support British agriculture by buying the fantastic food that we produce. It doesn't go unnoticed and it's not taken for granted, so thank you for that. It is very much appreciated. Anyway, in this week's update, you remember on the last update at the end of the last one, I think I was on the sofa laid up with a crocked leg because I had injured my leg, not working but dancing. So we got that. I had a bit of a scan on that, so I've got an update on that and show you what's gone on with there. So we look at that as well. Also, if you remember, we were combining the spring barley seed end of last video last week on Sunday, and we hadn't got anywhere to put it. We put it in the wrong shed, so we've moved that, and a bit of a look at how we're doing with that. We have also combined our spring beans. This is our own spring beans. We did those early on this week, which surprisingly have yielded better than I thought, so that's good. So we look at those in detail. We've been delivering road planings to a local company, and Omex Fertilisers have just started the delivery of our liquid nitrogen to fill up our 3 tanks that we'll be using on the crops for next year, and a few other snippets as well around the farm. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you at the end if you make it there. It's Monday morning. I'm just hobbling down to the yard. Tom's just brought a load of first load of barley up, and this is the barley you saw in the update. I think it was on Sunday that I did that. We need to move because we haven't got room at the main at Glebe Farm for it, so we're going to bring it up here and put it into the sheds here at the Heath where I live. And as you can see, I'm hobbling a bit. I'm waiting for a call, hopefully it'll be today, from the NHS to say that they have given me or offering me an appointment for a scan so I can try and get diagnosed with actually how bad this calf rupture is, because at the minute we don't know. So hopefully I'll get a call today about that and get an appointment made. So here we are emptying these trailers now. This is the barley that was harvested last week. God, it does smell as well because it's a little bit green, so we're going to need to get the fans on and blow this through these grills. But you can see it's very, very low shed. So we're going to have to take the trailer out, drop the door, tip up outside to put the barley to the back, and then back in again and do that 3 or 4 times till we've got the shed empty. So we don't want to use the pit and risk contaminating this over some wheat. So just going to drive out now and tip up. You can see the door of this is even very low. It's an old crew yard shed, this is. See there, the barley running to the back. Be careful it doesn't come over this back door. Whoa! You might think it's a very labour intensive way of getting stuff in this shed, which it is. If it was filling the shed, we wouldn't do it. We would go through the pit and come out those spouts there. But we've only got 5 loads to bring in here, and it keeps it totally separate from any other, and it just risks not getting it contaminated, because those bins is where all the wheat is that's left over from last year. So this is tip number 2 of this first load. Nala, come out. There, we've got 3/4 of it out, just a bit left you can just see in there, but I don't think this visit will do it. This will be the 4th time backing in. So this is visit 4 to the heat. We normally only use this shed for storing the beans in, which go through the pit, or for machinery. That's fully up, nearly with the trailer, not quite. I think this is the last time we'll be able to do this. and then Tom will have to just nip inside and just shovel the last bit out. Yep, this will be the last time. What's left now will have to be shoveled. Bit more, Tom. That's it, Tom's just shoveled that out. So that's all clean. Got the roving team back again, pulling weed beat. You can see some of these sticking up there. This field hasn't been done yet this year. They've done the other field again, the field you saw them do a few weeks ago. But doing a really good job here. You can just see them sticking up in the distance, the light coloured tall weeds. Just getting those all pulled. Apologise for the wind, I'm just doing this from my bedroom window. Get a better view of what they're doing of the crop. I've just had a scan at the diagnostic centre in Grantham. Really pleasing to know that it's only a very, very small tear. They showed me on the screen and I wanted to take a picture to show you, but I wasn't allowed to. It's only a 5mm tear of the muscle, so that is reassuring to know. And I've got, they said, about 3 weeks' time, and I shouldn't be able to feel any pain at all. But I've got to have a check-up with the doctor and they'll tell me what actually definitely to do. But really pleased to know I haven't caused too much damage. Now into the spring beans. We've done 50 acres that was planted after the solo. These were planted without any cultivations at all. These are direct drill. You can see this vertical yellow piece of metal with a knife going up and down. That's what we call a side knife. And predominantly they use an oilseed rake when the crops are taffled, but also when you have a lot of weeds growing in a crop, you need to cut through, otherwise it gets caught on the edge of the header and it drags it through, so you use that knife to cut through it. But the crops are so thin this year, it will probably be alright without, but it's just as well to have it on. There's the beet cleaner in the background that we load the lorries with the sugar beet. That'll be coming up to the yard soon to get ready for the sugar beet season. Hair just running along the edge. It's 20 to 8 Monday evening. It's a very cloudy night. We had a shower today, but it just shows autumn's coming and the nights are starting to really come in. It's Wednesday morning. We had 20mm of rain yesterday, which we could have done without really with these beans we've got left to harvest, but beggars can't be choosers. We're just carrying on bringing the barley in. You can see here we had one load on in here you saw early on in this clip. We're just bringing the contract tipper in. We've then got some tarmac planings to deliver. So we're just going to get this emptied and then load up the planings and deliver some planings to a local haulage company. Smaller trailer just makes it so much easier backing in these low doors and the low sheds. There won't be any more than 10-11 tons on here. We have got the weight of it, I just can't remember what it was. Nala, come out. Let's see if we can get most of it out in one tip. Got to watch the asbestos on that corner there near that light. Just pulled out now to tip it up. Just see the barley at the front there. It just shows how much height you need and angle on these trailers to tip, especially with it being barley. It doesn't flow like wheat or rape or anything like that. It tends to hold a bit. This is the third tip with this. We're just clearing up the barley now. The 2 loads of the seed we tipped in the shed just to take them up to the other farm where you've just seen us tipping it. So just got 1 trailer loaded, just going to load the second one, because that's all that was tipped in that heap there was 2 loads. Got to be careful and not push too hard against that wooden air tunnel, or else it'll be over. It won't stand much pushing against it. It's not made for pushing against it that way, but it's all right going along the side when we're pushing up that heap, so I'll have to be careful. There's the pipe we put in for a start, because we thought we were going to have to leave it all here to blow air through it out that tunnel, but so I've got to watch that as well, so it's just making everything a bit awkward. Just got to go alongside it and not push too much of that tunnel. That'll do. Now, well, should hold it on this trailer, hopefully. Ruben's just going to brake hard and level it. That's it. Do it 2 or 3 times, and then hopefully we'll get it all on this load. We had 1 load of wheat out this shed yesterday. This is the shed next to the workshop. It was raining all day. We were going to have more, but we stopped Robert, the driver, just because we don't like rain. It was pouring down yesterday with the 20 mil we had, so we didn't do any more. I sold 8 loads of wheat for September. This is the price they're sold for, so it'd be good to get them away and get them gone, and then get the money in the bank in a month's time, because that's what everybody is. All merchants, we're grain off the farm and we get paid 28 days later, so it always makes me laugh when people want money up front when we're dealing with them. We're dealing with other people, and you order something, you have to pay up front before it's delivered. But with farms, produce goes off the farm. Normally 28 days later is when the payment arrives in our account. So yeah, even then it is a bit of a risk, because grain merchants do go bust. We had a situation in Lincolnshire probably, I don't know, 25-30 years ago, where a merchant went bust and owed farmers a lot of money. Farms lost out, didn't get the money. Luckily, I think we were only owed probably £5,000 or £10,000 for what he was saying, so we were lucky, but there was a lot of farms who owed a lot more than that. Got Barry here just loosening these planings with the back bucket of his digger, because they go so solid we can't do it with the Manitou very well, so Barry's just come for a few hours to help us. He's just loading them as well, because we've been busy with the Manitou. I'm going to look for a 4-in-1 bucket for the front of our Manitou. If anybody knows where there is one, we'll see if we can buy one second hand. But that's a 4-in-1 similar to that one of Barry's, that opens up and does different things. It's not like a normal bucket. Planings are gradually going down. Look at all those planes in the sky. There's one actually going, and they say farmers are the ones responsible for climate change. Transport is the one. 27% of emissions are responsible to transport, greenhouse gas emissions. Look at all that, that just shows why. I'm just fetching the pusher blade to go on a Manitou to push this barley up. It's across at William's yard where we contract farm. These are the range of sheds William's got. They hold about 250 tonnes in each. They're really handy actually, because you can get different varieties in, but they're just a bit low in headroom. But we've managed here for, I don't know how many years we've been doing this, 15 years. And here's the blade. Just going to get that put on and then take it up to the heath. That's got it fastened on with the latches down there. You can just see that ram move there. That locks the pins on, and then to take it down the road, obviously we can't take it looking like that, so we fold it back, fold it vertical. See how it comes up like that. That's it. Then bring it right in, and that's it. Watch telephone wires, electric wires, but not too bad. I've just pushed this barley up, and we've just blanked off these ducts under the bottom here. We've put some wooden slots in So a little wooden partition in here just to stop the airflow coming through these ducts, because we need all the air to be forced through that barley, because these ducts are connected up to the main fan that's at the back there through a channel that goes under the bins through there. So the air now will be forced up through those grills, up through the barley to cool it and hopefully keep it right, because it is quite warm. And then we'll get all these greens will be shriveled up. In the hand, that at the base of my hand, there's a green one that's starting to shrivel up, which is good. That's what will happen to them. Then when they clean this seed and treat it, all those green ones, they'll be so small, they'll just come out in the sieves, and they won't go into the part that's going to make seed. They'll just go to waste and go to animal feed. I'm just levelling the top of the heap off, just so that it's a bit more even for cooling it and for the fans to get the airflow through. That should do it. There, that should be better, because the grills are quite wide apart, so I've just got to make sure that the air gets to the middle. The problem is, because the heap's not so deep, the air sort of might struggle to meet there in the middle, so we might just have to get one of those screw-in augers you can get with a little motor on the top to get down the middle, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this heap. The last trailer load going in, and with this job finished. A bit time consuming, but we had to keep it separate. You see the height of these trailers compared to the height of the sheds, and how much higher the sheds would need to be to get these trailers tipped up in here properly. There seems to be a lot more activity with these AWACS planes. We've got that great big mushroom on the top. They're based at Waddington. And there used to be quite a few of them lined up there. I haven't seen them over the skies for the last year or two, I don't think, but now there's suddenly a lot of activity with them. Omex have just rolled up with the first load of liquid nitrogen for next year's crops. They like to get the tanks full in the summer like this, or autumn as we are now heading into, and then these will be full all through the winter, and then we'll use it obviously in February, get an early dose on. And this has been bought at a really good price. Can't quite remember the price, but I'll tell you that when we're next over one or two of the next loads we're up. We're going to have these filled over the next week. They'll all be filled. So this tank will hold about 22,500 litres, and that tank's 50,000 litres, and I think that will be about 70 tonnes in weight in each of those tanks. So we've got quite a lot of weight. That's why underneath that bund, the concrete's 12 inches thick with 2 lines of reinforcing mesh. So that's it for another midweek update. Thanks very much for watching. The noise you can hear in the background are the fans. I'm stood in front of this barley that you've just seen us move. We need to get some air blowing through it quite quickly, so we're getting it through the ducts down here. You can see that one down there, and there is another one down there somewhere. But we are going to move it in a few days as well, just to keep stirring it up, because these green grains need to shrivel up properly and not cause the rest of the heap to go funny. Anyway, just before I go, I just wanted to thank everybody for the messages of support, and hope the leg gets better and all those. Thank you very much for that, much appreciated. You can see I've got this plaster, or not a plaster, it's a sort of a boot that keeps my leg all solid and stops me from bending it, because I mustn't get it injured anymore. If I tear the ligament anymore, apparently I will be in trouble. I'm still going to be the best part of 2 months getting over this, but I need to be very careful to make sure it doesn't get worse. But the NHS have been fantastic. And the nurses are really getting it sorted out, so, and the scan obviously as well, it was very quick, so thank you for that. Anyway, let's see you on Sunday, but just as a bit of a teaser, Sunday's update will be from Howsam Sprayers, because I've got a very detailed look at our sprayer. There's a lot of work being going into it in the background. This is why I haven't seen it, and I'm not going to give anything away. I was going to put it in tonight's video, but it would have made it too long, so that's something to look forward to on Sunday, a full resuming on our sprayer, which I think we'll be getting it in about a week to 10 days. We are virtually there with it, so that will be really exciting and something to look forward to. So that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on Sunday.